Map and how you should navigate map in Darkest Dungeon 2. On the left side you can see the map. It depends in what location you are. Is it a Tangle? Is it a Burning City? Is it a Swine Realm? And so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. There are 4 or 5 different maps, but all of them consists out of the same pattern. Okay, you choose the road that you want to take until you reach the final part and get to the end. This here shows how much leagues, or better to say kilometers or meters, call it how you like, you got till you reach the end. You always start from the gate, and then we need to speak about every curio, every map dot, every encounter that you have until you reach the end. The first one would be hospital. In the hospital, you'll be able to buy some consumables for your teammates. Those would be always the things like extra healing, trash kit, bandages, and so on. The next thing that you can do in the hospital is cure the HP for your party. And the most important thing that you're gonna do in the hospital is to remove disease or negative quirks. To remove a negative quirk in a hospital, you're gonna need 16 relics. For no matter what type of negative quirk it is, 16 relics is what it takes to remove. So plan ahead when you want to reach the hospital. Make sure that you have around 70-80 relics so you can actually remove all negative quirks once you reach the hospital. It's one of the most important encounters on the map, and that's why I'm opening up with the hospital, because it's extremely important that you remove negative quirks. After the hospital, you're gonna see these resistance encounters everywhere. They provide power, wealth, and they reduce loathing. Loathing is this. The more of these blue skulls on the map, the worse it gets. Flame drain, they gonna keep arguing among each other and so on. So yes, you need, after every resistance encounter, you're gonna remove a skull or 2. Okay, and that doesn't only count for resistance encounter, it also counts for Oblivion's Ingress. Or what's the difference? Regular enemies are on resistant encounters, while cultists, the most powerful enemies, are in Oblivion's Ingress. They both reduce loathing. Okay, and loathing is extremely important thing in the game. You need to reduce loathing or you're gonna have extremely hard time. So the only 2 ways to reduce loathing would be with Oblivion's Ingress, bigger, better rewards than on resistance encounter, and it reduces loathing. Okay, and you can always earn mastery points, while on resistance encounters, sometimes you can earn mastery points, sometimes you won't, okay, but they both gonna reduce loathing. You need to reduce loathing one less time, and those 2 encounters are reducing loathing: resistance encounter and Oblivion's Ingress. The next one would be Watchtower. Watchtower reveals the entire map, okay? There won't be any question marks like you can see here. There's gonna be an entire map revealed. Now, how do I got the entire map revealed without going to the Watchtower, you might ask? Very simple. It's a stagecoach upgrade. When you kill a boss, okay, from the previous map that I killed a boss, I got 100% location scouting. It's extremely nice, but you won't have that always, so you might consider going for the Watchtower, especially if you are a beginner. Okay, when you start playing the game, it's good to go for the Watchtower. I don't care now, after 100 hours, I really avoid Watchtower, because I can deal with everything, and I know how to deal with everything. But when you learn how to play the game, the smartest way would be to go for the Watchtower and reveal the entire map and what awaits you. The next encounter would be Hero Shrines. Hero Shrines are there to unlock new skills and abilities for all of the characters. They're extremely important, and you should rush in the first 30 hours of the game for the Hero Shrines with all party members. Okay, so you can unlock all abilities. Once you're done, and you're gonna need a lot of hours to unlock all Hero Shrines and all spells, then Hero Shrines will provide a mastery point. And that's extremely important once you reach the end, so you have more mastery points to upgrade the skills. The blue line under the skill means that it's upgraded. When there is no blue line under the skill, it means that it's not upgraded. So Hero Shrines are extremely important. You should chase them especially if you're a beginner. You want all hero shrines as fast as you can. The next encounter, one of the most important encounters, would be assistance encounter. This is how you raise torch. Okay, hope. You can raise hope also with a consumable that gives 15 light, but basically what you wanna do is to keep this thing above 50 all the time, or you're gonna have a very rough time. To keep it above 50, from 50 to 100, you're gonna visit assistance encounters. Not only that they're gonna provide flame, okay, hope, light, call it however you like, they also gonna provide food and supplies. Now, what's connected with assistance encounter, resistance encounter, and Oblivion's Ingress? You're gonna have an option to attack or not, okay, and you're gonna see how they become your heroes, how they become yellow or blue, okay. What does it mean? It means that their relations, if they're yellow, that's good, if blue, that's bad, okay? And some of them will go with attack, some of them will go with dodge, some of them will want to escape, some of them will have benefits of fighting, okay? And that's gonna change non-stop. It depends on a team, it depends on quirks, it depends on characters that you currently have, okay? But when you see yellow, when you pick those options, okay, on the encounters on a map, that means that it's good and your party will greatly benefit out of it on both resistance encounter, Oblivion Ingress, and assistance encounter. Sometimes you're gonna reach assistance encounter, your torch will be like 70 or 90, and then you're gonna see all yellows, but you're gonna see torch minus 15, or you're gonna see all blues, torch plus 30. Sometimes it's smarter to go with minus 15 and raise those relations up on a map while you still can, because basically relations are the most important thing in the game. The next encounter that can happen on a map is a Lair. Lair consists out of 3 different fights, okay, and the third one would be the map's boss, map's main boss. Map's main boss will usually provide a trophy for your stagecoach, alright? And he's gonna provide a lot of legendary trinkets. Indelible trinkets, call it however you like, okay? They're gonna provide things like this once you kill them. Lair is extremely hard. I would not recommend visiting the Lair in the first 20 hours of the game. You do not need to kill bosses, you need to chase hero shrines, you need to chase hope, okay, to level up faster. As far as Lair goes, start doing it once you have all skills unlocked. Do not waste your time on going for Lair. It really ain't worth it for a beginner. It's really not worth it. And remember, this is a high risk, high reward type of encounter. Next encounter would be Creature's Den. Now this, you might consider going for this as a beginner. This is like a smaller version of the Lair. Creature's Den. It consists out of the 2 fights instead of 3. Rewards are great, okay, and you can easily earn a mastery point also. Creature Den is what you wanna aim for if you're a beginner, instead of the Lair boss encounter. The final encounter would be the Hoarder. When do you visit the Hoarder? Hoarder is where you're gonna trade items, okay, or better to say, where you're gonna spend your relics and bubbles. Hoarder sells everything from in items, alright, food, buffs, and so on. He also sells a lot of combat items, and of course he sells a lot of trinkets, okay, as well as stagecoach equipment. Basically, Hoarder sells everything. You visit the Hoarder when you're rich, when you got around 50-60 relics, when you cleared all of those negative quirks from the hospital encounter, and when you got a lot of bubbles, so you can buy relics. You buy relics with bubbles on Hoarder. So again, Hoarder is the last one that you should visit. The last encounter, unavoidable encounter, mini bosses, okay, on map 1, 2, and 3, you get to fight cultist bosses. It consists out of the 2 fights for every map, and you gotta fight this, that there is no way to escape this fight. You need to be well prepared, you need to be healthy, and you need to be good with your stress, okay, because this fight is actually the hardest fight on a map and it blocks your passage to the end. The most important thing when you navigate the map, when you see yellow spots, okay, that means it's usually safe. When they're like this, okay, not connected, blue pots, that means there's an ambush. So straight line, yellow line is safe, blue line is with an ambush and it's bad, okay? So how do you know where you wanna go? Basically, when you learn how to play the game, you should stick to yellow paths, okay, straight line paths. Once you master the game out a bit, then you can start going through ambushes, because ambushes can really nuke you out bad if you don't know what you're doing. So stick to the yellow lines, to the safe lines. One last thing, there's also an Oasis encounter. Oasis is there to remove stress, okay, or to provide food items. When do you visit Oasis? You visit Oasis when there is no stress healer in your party, when your party has a lot of stress damage, and of course when you want to raise their relations. That's why Oasis is there. Now I can show you how I picked my path. For example, the hardest path on the previous map. When I opened up from the gate, I went into assistance encounter so I could raise the torch. That was on the previous map. Then I went for the boss. I took a trophy for a 100% location scouting. That's what I picked. After the boss, I went for the resistance encounter to reduce loathing. After that, I passed through an ambush, went to the Hoarder, bought some combat items, okay? Then went to another resistance encounter and reduced loathing even more, got rewards, and so on. After that, it was an ambush, then it was resistance encounter again. After that, it was assistance encounter to raise torch again. After that, I went for hero shrine, or better to say, you're gonna go for upgrades, unlock skills, and I went for a mastery point, so I can upgrade my skills. After that, I went to Oblivion's Ingress because of the huge reward, cultist encounter, the hardest encounters. And after that, again I went for the torch. Then another resistance encounter, and then it was the fight and the end. Final fight and the end. Now, for example, on this map, when I had money, okay, solid amount of money, the first option I took between Oasis and the hospital, I went to the hospital to remove negative quirks. After that, I went for the cash. This is, there are encounters, okay, that provide supplies, cash supplies. And when you should visit them, when there's nothing else left, okay, because this cash supply, it doesn't provide anything good in like 70% of cases. So there's like 30% of time when you're gonna go for the cash where it's gonna provide some good item or a trinket or something like that. Usually it's gonna provide garbage. So that's why you should avoid this encounter on the map. So where were we now? Now, I said I went to the hospital to remove negative quirks. This is map 2 now. I went for the stash, okay, cash supplies. After that, there's gonna be another hospital where I'm gonna remove the rest of the negative quirks, like this. After the hospital, it's gonna be to reduce loathing. After that, it's gonna be assistance encounter to raise the torch. After that, it's gonna be hero shrine, but you as a beginner should always chase hero shrines, of course, but you also need to pick this assistance encounter to make your game a bit easier because of the light. After I'm done with the hero shrine, I'm gonna go for the Hoarder, then for the assistance encounter, and then for another assistance encounter, into a hospital again to remove all of those negative quirks, and then for the final fight. What you should do, you should avoid freaking Lair until you master the game a bit. Do not forget, when you traverse the map, you should always ram these things, because they can leave gear for you, okay? Obstacles on the road. Always ram them. Always. Okay, you see how I just got 3 Laudanum. Laudanum removes stress on teammates. So always ram them. Do not pass by this. Break them. They can leave good stuff, they're gonna leave money, they're gonna leave combat items, in items, okay? Ram those obstacles. It's very important when you traverse the map. Now what happens if your torch goes to 0? You're gonna get ambushed by cultists or by a shambler. It's actually a good thing to get ambushed by a shambler. It's a tough fight, but rewards are just freaking huge. Every map when you enter has a different quest, goal, okay? For this one, for example, it's a cultist battle. For some other one, it's like 3 resistance, win 3 resistance encounters, visit 4 assistance encounters, and so on. And then you're gonna get a reward, okay? A unique trinket, you're gonna get hope, you're gonna get mastery points, you're gonna get stagecoach equipment, and so on. Try to finish them off. As a beginner, you should always aim for hope challenges to raise hope as fast as you can. One last thing during the mapping is that you're gonna probably have your inventory encumbered non-stop, and the items that you should remove are usually trash like slime mold. You can always delete that. You can always delete bad trinkets, for example, those that you don't need anymore. Do not collect them if your characters have their own trinkets, alright? Trinkets that are good for them. Do not dwell on this, just delete. And you're gonna get hope. And you're gonna clear out the space so you can collect more items.